Look at that. 1 second is going to drop us down.
Warning, this podcast is not for the faint of heart.
We keep it real and raw.
And talk about issues that other podcasts wouldn't dare. This is the Truth of the Matter podcast with Dr. Spencer. Step into our world. What do you do if you fall in love with one of your kids' friends who's over 18? How do you handle getting caught in bed with your boss? Why do girls like bad boys? Are you burned out from an unbalanced career and personal life? Are you still working while your kids are telling you how their days went? Our passion is to help people in relationships, anyone you have a connection with in life, neighbors, coworkers, family, spouse, kids, yourself, and helping you achieve the work-life balance. Let's have some fun and let's get educated. This is the Truth of the Matter podcast. And now your host, Dr. Lamar Renee Spencer.
Okay, well, thank you for joining me, everyone. But it's not even about me today. I have a special guest on, and I'm not even going to go through like the whole accolades and all of that. I have actress Deidra Murphy on. And let me just say this, right? She and I were just talking behind the scenes, and I said, you know what? I know you have done so much, and I'm like a behind the scenes groupie of yours. You don't even realize it because she's an actual person. And that's what I like to see. I like to see actual people on here that is just like me, that's relatable. So often, and as she and I were talking, you see people on the screens, you see people on social media, and you're thinking, you know, they have everything going on. They're perfect, but they're actual people, and they go through the same struggles as we do. And every time I see her, I said, you know, I got to step it up a little bit because she's like flawless. I zoom in. Like I said, I'm a groupie. I zoom in and like her skin is perfect. Her makeup is perfect. And she brings her kids on. And I don't see like the paparazzi. I don't see any of that. It's just like her against the world. And like she said, and I saw it the other day, like the godmother. And I was like, you know what? That's the type of godmother I would like too. She's an actual person. And I think that's phenomenal. And that's who I like. I like someone who can help someone, who can reach the masses. And if we get past all the glitz and glamour, you see that not just other people, but she is that person. And that's what I want to convey to everyone today. Now, like I said, she is like, when I say accomplished, we see the millions of her socials that are following her. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I am, for one, that person. And I know about a lot of other people who said the same thing, who just saw that we were going to go live today, and they said the same thing. Just a genuine person. And she doesn't realize, because I'm just saying it, but she's like a friend in my mind, right? So that's exactly what it is. And all the struggles, and even to put that in her bio, I thought that was phenomenal because, again, we all go through something. And like she said, my cup is running over, but isn't all of our cups running over? So Miss Deidra, thank you so very much for being on. Again, flawless as always, just a good, genuine person, relatable. So thank you for being on. I really appreciate it. Yes, absolutely. So let's get into it. You started acting young age, right? So what made you say
I wanted to be an actress since I was young? I didn't start until like a couple of years.
Yeah. Well, so you wanted to be. Yeah. So look, let's say you are an actress.
Yeah. So I started learning first when I decided to pursue my career, to learn more about the business first. Because like in the real world, if you want to be a lawyer at a firm, you have to know the business before you start the work. So that's what I learned first. And then I started taking acting classes and doing auditions, and yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you a question. You started, you know, like you said, you had to learn the business. But was it ever a time at home where you're just like, you know, doing little skits even as a child?
Yes.
Okay. See, look, I'm on it. I was like, no, she was an actress, because although you weren't maybe on the screen, You were an actress. So what made you say, okay, you know what? I want to actually pursue this professionally.
Um, I think I started switching up my circle a little bit because like everyone that says they support you, they really don't. Like I was getting people laughing at me, telling me it was stupid and I would never make it because I'm either too light
Mhm.
skinned or too short or something's wrong. Um, and I just like shoved those people away. And I was just like, if I don't pursue it, I'll be upset with myself. So I'm just gonna go all in. And I did. And I reached out to some people. I actually ran into somebody that followed me on TikTok and she is an actress and I never knew it. I was like, what? What? And she was like, yeah, I'm an actress. I'm like, no way. And then I had to look at her for a minute. I was like, oh wait, that's you. Okay, sorry, my bad. Yeah. It's like people will come to me and they're like, you don't know who I am? I'm like, absolutely not. I don't. Sorry. I've never seen you before. Sorry. But
What? No, you're right because you have so many followers, and I know you're right. You can't know everyone, but then, they're always like, "You didn't know me." No, and I'm sorry. You know,
I used to feel so bad. I'm like, oh, I have never, yeah, no.
I understand. So let me ask you. So even with that, were there like times where you just said, "You know what? I'm done. Like I'm gonna give up."
Yeah. Recently, um, yeah, recently I was like, I just can't do this anymore. But if I give up, then I'm not accomplishing anything. And then plus, like your circle they're so important because like if I keep people around me that don't believe in me in the first place, and I'm like, yo, I'm about to quit, they'll be like, that's a good idea. But people that believe in you and truly love you, they're not gonna let you quit. So I keep people around me like that. Have I been hurt? Like, yeah. I've had so many situations um where it's either it didn't make it anywhere or it was fraud or a scam or people were making themselves out to be something that they were not. And it just didn't work out. But it hurts for a little bit and then you just learn to be like, okay, all right, let me just stay focused. Let me just keep pushing. You just keep pushing. Like I can take 100 auditions right now and all of them could say no, but that doesn't mean somebody's not going to say yes.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. What I like is the fact that you really embrace the disenfranchised, right? Because, like you just said, you know how it is,
Yeah.
and you're not going to stop.
Mm-mm.
Because really, we live, like I said earlier, we live vicariously through people like you. That you're going to take, like I said earlier, you're going to take 100 steps back and you may take 2 steps forward,
Right.
right? So, what would you tell the little girl, the little boy out there that's saying, I want to be an actor, but maybe mom and dad are saying you need to go to college and finish your education just in case. What do you say to those kids out there?
I feel like I just feel like they should be just do what you want. I mean, because life is not it's too short not to do what you want to do. And I mean, respect your parents' wishes. I mean, but also explain like, hey, that's just not what I want to do right now. I really want to I want to do this. Can you please support and help me? Um, and they're either going to support them or they're not. Um, but I mean, these are kids too, so you can't really make a decision that
Right,
makes a
right.
child. Now, when you're in 18 or whatever, do what you want, and don't let people like talk you out of it, shy you away from it. Like it's you would really be upset with yourself if you didn't. And at the beginning, the lady I was telling you about that I met on TikTok, she was like I literally went up under her wing and she told me everything to do. Do this, get this, and this. And I did it. And I'm still doing it.
Wow, wow. So would you suggest everyone get at least a mentor or at least a sounding board because you may need that.
Um, I suggest at the beginning to first start taking acting classes,
Mhm.
and get you a manager and an agent. Those are very important, very, very important. I'm like, I have two managers, and one of them is my manager and my agent. Because you have to have protection. Like, there's so many people that are just like, I'm a producer and they're not. I'm a director and they're not. And yeah, so you use them for, protection and other reasons, and
Yeah.
single. Mhm. Yeah.
So how would you go about in vetting them? Because you're right. Nowadays they scam you. People scam you for everything, and they always say they are something. So how would you go about in vetting, saying, okay, this is a person who has my best interest at heart?
I am always a person to, and I don't know what happened to me this time, but always do your research. I mean, like, you can Google my name right now and it'll show you who I am, exactly who I am. There's no need in saying I'm the president of the United States, and I'm really not. Don't mention big stars like Viola Davis and tell people you've worked for them, but your credits and I'm Googling you is showing something completely different. Like, honesty in the industry is for me, it's big. Like, if you can't tell the truth, like, it's fine. Like, I'm just an actress, and I'm TikTok famous, and I also, on the side, I help people that are going through really hard times in their life, like abuse, trauma, just craziness. I help them get out of it.
Yeah.
But to make yourself something you're not is absolutely ridiculous. So always do your studying, like everything you think of it. Google, IMDb, like, look these people up. And if you
Mhm.
don't see them, they probably lying.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about that because that's what made me start even following you, because you do help people that are abused and coming out of different situations. And I think that's important because, again, you are a real person and you are really helpful. And there's someone out there who may say, I want to be an actor or actress, but I can't get out of my situation. But they're just regular people. They could just be working a regular 9 to 5, but they cannot, or they don't know how to get out of an abusive situation. So can you talk a little bit about, your philanthropy, how you're helping people?
Um, I the purpose of me doing it is because I'm a survivor, and I despise watching people feel stuck in a situation and they can't get out. Even the police won't help. So I do everything in my power, whatever I can, to get them out, um, without causing them harm or anyone else. That's the tricky part. And then the world is so. I was just talking to somebody about this. Our world is so black and white. Like,
Mhm.
there's no gray. Like, when I was abused, they were like, "Do you have pictures?" I don't have a phone. Like, what do you mean? Well, can we come in your house? Like, we asked him, and he said he wasn't doing it. Are you serious? Like, what? And it's bad. Like, I just feel like society should step up when it comes to men, women, and children getting abused. And, like, there's not a whole lot that people really do. Um, but I have helped teenagers get out of violent households, or just simply being abandoned by somebody. The foster care system is jacked up. I helped somebody get out of her foster care place. She was just in it for the money. So there's just always, everybody in the world isn't very, they're not cracked up to what they should be doing, I guess.
Right. So let me ask you, how did you get into that? I know you just said you were abused too, but how did you say, I want to make a difference? Like, how did you start, like, even helping the first person?
Okay, so I started TikTok during the pandemic, right? I was bored as crap. And my kids are like, don't do TikTok. It's so stupid. That's embarrassing. So I was doing really stupid ones that made no sense, and I'm still wanting to delete them. And then when I was getting ready to delete it, I was like, you know what? I want to help people. I might as well do something while I'm sitting here trapped in my house because no one can go anywhere.
Uh-huh.
So I did one video, a couple videos that went crazy. And my TikTok sister, she was like, yo. And I'm like, what? And she's like, look at the numbers, look at the numbers. And they were going crazy. And I was like, is this supposed to happen? And I'm asking the kids, I'm like literally freaking out. Like, what is this? And then all of a sudden somebody's like, I want to make you a fan page. I'm your biggest fan. And I'm like, really? So I like, it was crazy. But I post videos of actual real life situations, like POVs
Uh-huh.
of somebody that I've helped in that situation. I just don't put their name on it. I want
Yeah.
to, to keep their life private.
Yeah. Yeah. And I see it too. And I'm like, this must, at first I was like, nah, this is just like a skit. But then I'm like, no, like, I think this is really happening.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I think she's like really doing a lot of help. Helping people. And that's so cool because I know, like I'm in Jersey, right? So living close to New York, you see like people just walking down the street. You don't know they're actually on TV because a lot of times they look different. They
Yeah.
like, they look like regular people. And it's funny because like you, there's so many other people that are actually helping. Or they don't want to go up and say, Deirdre, can you help me out? Like I'm really going through because they're like afraid, or you're right, they don't know how it's going to turn out. So often we see that with social media, everyone it like records everything. And sometimes when you're going through, you don't want your business out there. You don't even want your close family and friends and definitely your neighbors to know you're going through because that could jeopardize your well-being.
Mm-hmm.
It can. I see someone said she has helped so many. The best day ever. Wow, that is like phenomenal. Yes, that makes me proud because again, you could see that. Yeah,
It's my TikTok sister.
you were just talking about her.
I was just talking about her. I swear. I was like, yeah, that's crazy.
Wow,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
And I've helped her. I'm not going to say her story unless she gives me permission, but I love her to death. Like she's literally like been there for me since the beginning. Like, so before I started making the POVs and I told you about the stupid TikToks I thought were just ridiculous, we had like 90s music lives. Like it was ridiculous. It was crazy. But I mean, it was fun. But then like we were kicking kids out and no kids. And I was like, this is so stupid. I can't keep these kids out. This is ridiculous. And then I was just like, I like kids. So I'll just let them in.
Yeah. But you're right. Cause like, I know I've done a couple of like videos and I'm like, I'm boring. I'm to this, I'm to that. And my daughter's like, Mom, that looks so dumb. Your kids are like your critics. Because to them, you're mom. You're right. Just like a regular person, you're like their taxi when they need, you're like the therapist. So you're all these things. You are mom. But for other people, you're like their savior. You're like, like their alter ego. You're all of these things. You're like, because they're relating, they're like, wait a minute, that's funny to me. I thought all your TikToks was like phenomenal. I was like, wow, I need to get it together. Like I'm boring. I really just boring.
I wish I could like save everyone, to be honest. But as I was telling you, like before we got on, like I have helped so many. I was starting to feel like my water cup was empty. I didn't have anything to give. So I had to like rejuvenate myself and get myself back, together. Because if you're thirsty and you want water and my cup's empty, I can't give you anything. You're not going to get anything out of it. So it's always important to like look out for yourself also. Yeah. And that was so hard to like grasp. Like even, some of my other friends in support were like, you need to stop. You're like literally doing too much. Like you got to cut it out. And I'm like, no, I have to stay up and I cannot stop this until they're okay. And I was always like making all these huge sacrifices of my energy and my time. But to be honest, I would do it again. I don't have regrets. I don't do it for like a hand clap. I do it because people need people.
Yes. So let me ask you, how would they get in touch with you if they need help? Would it be through like an inbox on TikTok? I don't want to put your person out there, but
no. So my TikTok messages, I turned them off because I could not handle it. It was like in one day, I was having like 5,000 messages. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna work. So I shut it off. They can message me on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah. And what I find is that because I'm new to this whole TikTok thing too, I never know where like I will fall in. Like I'm sure, there's like a group for everything that you can't even imagine. And you're right. Sometimes you do have to shut your comments off. Because I know a couple of times I wanted to comment and I couldn't. I'm like, okay. And it tells you like comments turned off or something like that.
Yeah, messages and comments. I try not to because of TikTok's algorithm. they don't like it when you are hiding stuff from them or your audience. Like if you leave stuff in drafts, they don't want you doing that.
Right. And
They're
then
like,
you're
"Sorry, what are you doing? We're gonna stop your views because we need to see all this." Yeah. So,
yeah, you're absolutely
well, thank
right.
you, Kita.
You said you're definitely a survivor, and others can definitely take a page out of your book because you have come such a long way from the first day I met you. Wow, I see it too. I'm telling you, like I see it, and I was like, she is just a genuine person. But sometimes we don't realize or even think that when you're on some like a platform like TikTok, there is thousands of people that's reaching out to you, and from all over the world.
Mhm.
And you're right, you probably need 3 or 4 admins just to like help you sift through the people who really really need help versus the ones that's just like scammers and all kinds
Oh,
of like.
I've had some that were they're like, "Oh, I got this going on," and they lied. But I mean,
It's to be
whatever.
expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to
Like
be.
some people do it for attention, and that's not cool. But I even posted about it. It actually happened. Like a young lady was like, "This is happening to me," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And I tried to help, and then it was a lie. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I've even like helped people from suicide,
Wow.
and have met the liars. But you have to like be able to sift things out. You know what I mean? And I don't even get mad. I mean, because obviously you're not getting enough attention at home, but like lying about suicide is just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, and you don't get blessings by that, right? Because
You
there
don't.
is someone out there who actually going through, right? So even like last week, my daughter and I, we went down to Maryland, right? And it was a lady, and she was like, "I really need help. Can you give me money to buy food?" And my daughter's like, "No, she could be a scammer." And I told her, I said, "You know what?" I said, "Yeah, there's one person can really make it bad for everyone, but if you can help one person out, or maybe even 2 or 3, it like kind of it actually overshadows the person that lied or tried to scam you because
It does, but it's also the way that you're looking at it. So I don't find a homeless guy on the street. I try not to go, "Oh my God, you're probably going to go get alcohol."
yeah,
If they're on the street and they're asking for money, they obviously need help. You have done your good diligence by giving them uh, a couple dollars. There's no need to like follow them around because you want to know what they're doing with your $2. If you're that concerned, don't give it. That's just my.
right. That's exactly what I did. I'm like, here's some money, and I walked away. I was like, I hope I'm a blessing.
You've done your part. That's all that matters. I all that, "Oh, I'm gonna follow you and see where you go." Like I had bought somebody food and they threw it away and I saw them. I didn't get out and get mad. I mean, obviously that's not what you wanted, but
Right, right. But you know what? That's fine. You're like, "Look, you know what? I've done my part," and it's. I love to see even people trying to help because I feel like there's not enough in the world. And we even have like the show, "What Would You Do" by Greg Canonis. It's like, what would you do? I think that especially in like New York, Jersey, Connecticut, we get that bad rap for not caring. But there are people who do care. And it's not that you don't care, it's just that you're afraid that maybe something's going to happen to you. So you're looking at your well-being as well. But you're right, there's people out there who genuinely need help.
mhm.
And like you see, even here, I mean, it just like they can't even say enough about you. And I just put out like, well,
I
how
know.
can they reach you? So now everyone's going to be like, email like, I need help. I need. We're not
And
talking
that's
to you.
fine. I mean, like, and I do apologize to the people that follow me on TikTok because I've actually been like busy but and drained. I'm working on my own. I'm trying to work on my own project. Um, I have a vision of some things that I want to happen with my career and my life, and I've just been like really tired. I even went through like a little bit of a depression that only a few people like knew about. Like I was so depressed. But my fans are, they look at you, the ones that don't really understand, and they're like, "How dare you be sad?" And I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Like I'm trying not to be sad. And I've done a lot of work on me to try to get myself, you know, back on track. But
Yeah,
I haven't posted in a long time. I just haven't. It's been the time. I just moved, and it's just been a lot of other things going on. But I'll be. I mean, I'll be back. I haven't like
yeah.
fired TikTok. But.
Yeah. But you know what? Honestly, because you're a normal person, right? And it's okay to have bad days. You may have a whole bad year where you're just like, you're in like I call like a funk where it's hard to get out. Because again, when you're helping so many other people, there's times when you know what, you need help too. And you're like, hey, you know what? Like I need help today. I may need help tomorrow. So don't even feel bad about, like you said, your cup running over because it does.
Mhm.
And sometimes it runs over to another cup and another cup. It is okay. We go through that. And
Absolutely.
and when you help as many people it seems to have you have, right? We have to look at, guess what? You take on that energy as well. So
Yeah. And I really had to teach myself to like not take on the energy because I was like soaking in all the stuff like it was mine. And then I didn't know where to put it. It was like, you're feeling better now. And I'm just all like, ugh. I didn't know where to put it. So now that I found where to put it, it
yeah,
makes it easier. You know what I mean? But I was like owning their trauma and their pain and taking it from them. And then like eventually it just started overflowing and I'm sad. And I'm like, yo, why am I so sad? And I have all their stuff and I don't know where to put it. But I know where to put it now.
yeah. It's like Erica Badu talks about the bag lady, right? And you're carrying not just your bag, but other people's bag. But guess what? You have a family too. You have children, like you have people who depend on you as well. So sometimes when you're helping so many other people, like the ones that depend on you, you don't have enough for them, and even more importantly for yourself. And sometimes it's hard. You want to help everybody, but sometimes you can't, and it's okay. you
Oh,
know
absolutely.
yeah, it is okay. So at what point did you say, you know what, like I gotta just take a step back? Not saying you're stopping, but I need to just kind of like regroup.
It was a few months ago. Um, I was just like, it was a lot because I was transitioning to a new location. That was stressful in itself. Dealing with some industry issues, and it was a lot. But now I'm back on track and I'm not letting anything knock me. But
Yeah.
and then you were saying something about bad days and like the people that know me on here, there are no such thing as bad days. That's not a thing. Your brain cannot it can't consume an entire day of being bad. You can actually reprogram your brain to start completely over. Like I might be mad because somebody tripped me or bump into me or they lied to me because that's one big thing I don't like is to be lied to.
Hmm.
And I could think about this all day, like you literally screwed me over, or you lied to me, you hurt me, or I can just be like, you know what? Let me just start over. I'm just not going to think about it. And you could start over like 20 billion times. It doesn't matter. But if you don't want to be upset, don't be. You don't have to stay mad all day. And then while you're being mad, the other person's living their life that made you upset, and you're just all "Ugh," like for what? It's too much energy. So I don't believe in a whole entire bad day. Like there's got to be something amazing that happened that day, even if it's I woke up or I have a roof over my head. I ate today. Like it could be anything. So I don't. Yeah. I,
Yeah. So what
even
keeps you motivated?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What keeps you motivated?
Um, my family, the people that I keep around me. I don't keep a lot around me. Before I decided to pursue my career, I felt like I had like 1,000 friends, 100, so many, and I couldn't keep track of all these humans. So I made a decision to get rid of a lot. So my circle is like extremely little, um, and they keep me motivated. Just the ones that I keep around because I've learned in life that people will be like, "Oh, I love you," and then behind your back, they're just like toxic. And love is an action. So I
Mhm.
keep people around me that show they love me and not just say it because I've experienced so many people in my life that have been like, "Oh, I love you so much," and then they're literally tripping me on the ground and running me over with their car. I mean, just
Mhm.
that's just how it feels. So I the people that I surround myself with, they motivate me. My kids, they're a great support. But yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think, that's important to have that type of circle. So you see people that are like actors and all kinds of things, and they have these large, it seems like, I don't know, like entourages. So what would you say? Because you just said you have to keep it small. So why is that so important? Because you see like these people have like 30 and 40 people always with them.
You mean like on the street? Like in
Like
public?
everywhere, yeah. Like they go somewhere, it could be like going to a store. You see these like groups of people. It always seems like they have a lot of people. I don't know if it's security, I don't know if it's the entourage, but the people that should be with you, like you said, you got to keep that circle small because it's trust issues. And now everyone records everything and it can get you into some trouble.
Mhm. Yeah, I never really understood why I had to have all these people that it's just too much to keep up with. And I'm always, I like literally repeat this. Like people would be like, don't forget about me when you're famous. And I'm like, what about when I was like homeless or I needed like your help or when I woke up in the middle of the night and I was crying and you didn't answer your phone? Like, what about that? Why is it that you don't want me to forget about you when everything is right? What about if I really, really need you? And that in itself has allowed me to be okay with making my circle small. Like and then always keep people around you that understand what you're doing and your your goals and your dreams. They have to understand that because if they don't, they'll be extremely self-centered and toxic and rude and they just won't understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want to give people an acting book, like here, this is what it's like. Because people think that being an actress is just like I'm going on the red carpet, taking pictures, I'm doing a photo shoot, we're gonna go party. That's not what it's about. That's just what everybody else sees. I'm getting a Grammy, an Oscar, a Tony. Like it's not just that. It's I have to get a therapist, I have to face rejection, and I have to be okay with it. Like when I'm telling you, I've done so many auditions, and they've been like, "Nah, it's okay. Maybe next time." Like, and it doesn't mean like I'm a bad actor because I'm absolutely not. Um, it just means that that is not right at that moment. What the look they're looking for. Do you know what I mean? Like they weren't looking for this look, or they're just they're not looking for it. But
Well, how do you know what they're looking for? Like you go into an audition, how do you know that that's what they're looking for or not? Do they tell you once you get in there?
no,
Oh,
no, no. Now
really?
on Actors Access, they'll sometimes give like a description of somebody, but I go anyway. I don't care. Like they might want somebody that's 6'2" and I'm 4'11. I'm going anyway. So it's just all about, just not quitting and staying focused. I don't focus on when I do an audition, I don't focus on like, oh my God, they might not call me back. I just do it and then I get over here and hope for the best. Like my time will come. And no matter what, I'm just not gonna give up. Right now I'm just at a point of gratitude because I've had a lot of lessons. And I don't want them repeated. So I have made a decision to gather all my lessons together so they don't come back because I have repeated some things that were lessons. And I'm like, you know what? If I don't learn this lesson, it's going to keep coming back. And I don't want it to keep coming back because then I'm going to cry and get upset. And
Right.
then when it comes back, it's like you don't have a right to be upset because you literally just did this. You know what I mean? So yeah, just I don't hold on to things like that. I try my best to just think positive and let things go no matter what. Because whoever wants to book me or have me in their film and be okay with having an agent and a manager, then it'll be for me.
Okay. So is it that times they don't want you to have an agent and a manager? Is that how it works?
So when I started, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to, yeah. When I started, the actress that met me, she said, you need an agent and a manager. I said, cool.
Mhm.
All right, bet. started off, I got an agent, a manager, I have a website, branding people, and yeah, right? At the beginning,
Uh-huh.
this is what I got. So I was meeting people. Now, mind you, I don't really know a whole lot of the industry, but I know, like, I'm still learning, right? And even
Mhm.
today, I'm still learning. And I was meeting people that weren't like legit. I didn't know what to do. But my manager was like, "You're getting too excited. You're moving too fast. You need to slow down." I'm like, "What?" Because you keep meeting these people. Like, stop. And I had to literally trust her and my agent to stop trying to move too fast, because sometimes you get so excited, like, I'm going to do this one, and it's not even legit. And now, because I have one of my managers is now my agent, and then I have another manager. So I just trust them. So whatever they say goes. Like I will no longer be self-submitting to anything that's not legit, and whatever they want me to do is what I'll be doing. They are actually my rocks. Like I love them to death. Like I can't. I don't think I would have made it without them at all. And it's always about who you know too, right? But I don't think I would have gotten this far without them. And even like if I'm like, hey, I can't say her name, but manager, like, can I do this? No. Why? No. Okay. And I just keep moving. And plus, again, I'm working on my own project. I have writer's block right now, but I'll be fine. I'm still working on it. Writer's
Yeah.
block is painful.
Well, we get a little excited now. I didn't want to ask, but I'm gonna ask. Can you give us a little smidget about what your project that you're working on is about?
I think my manager's in here. Her name is Shari. She just commented. Can you ask her if I'm allowed to? What a blessing. You're the real deal. That's not what I asked. Sure. Am I allowed to talk about it or not?
Oh, I'm sorry. If you're not, that's okay. We just like to
I
get
don't
it.
know. Did she say I am or not? Because I can't see the chat like you can.
Oh, I'm sorry. She said, "What a blessing! You're the real deal." No, she did not say that you can talk about it, but I can invite her up. Does she want to come up?
Oh no, she's working.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can give you like a little, a little feather on the icing on the cake, just a little bit of icing, not too much. So the
So this
story is about it is. That's what it's about. It's part of my life story.
Okay. Look.
So
We
it
love
is,
life stories.
yeah. So it's about like 3 women that are going through different types of relationships, and it's going to be an episodic. It was going to be a movie, but I think it's better to be episodic. That way, people are like, "Oh my god!" And then
Yeah. So what goes into all of that? Like you're creating this project about your life. What goes into that? Do you just start writing like, hey, this person said this and this person said that?
So writing a script is hard. It's not like writing a book. So I have to do like scenes where they are, and so it's a little more complicated than just writing a book. And then it's also like how what are my who are my characters and why are they like the way they are? You know what I mean? Like one of them may have graduated from college and she gave up her lifetime career for some guy. Different characters that make sense. It's just not. But with me too, I love writing. But my problem right now is, and this is again why you should get a therapist in the industry, is the part where I'm at right now because it's tough. And I thought I would be able to,
Mm-hmm.
but then all of a sudden it was like, oh, nope, I'm not ready. So my therapist has been kind of walking me through that so I can do it.
Yeah, yeah. So are you a little nervous about maybe you're writing about a situation or people? Are you like nervous that what they can possibly say? Because, sometimes we are born in families where they say, what goes on in this house stays here. So are you a little nervous about that? I mean, I'm just asking because I know I probably would be like, oh, I shouldn't say it.
I'm not because I don't care.
Okay,
I'm
great.
actually not one of those people that believes in that because it's like taking someone's voice away. It's like somebody hurt me, You're telling me not to tell anyone, like just sweep it up under a rug and go through PTSD alone? Like, sure, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. And then as adults, it's like I haven't dealt with what happened to me as a child because they didn't let me. And so no, it's absolutely not that. My kids know to tell, like if anything happens, because they're survivors too, but absolutely not. I it hurts hearing stuff like that because you people that's why it's hard to understand people because they've either gone through trauma that they are still living in now, like years later, without knowing where to go or what to do because their parents have told them not to say anything.
No,
And
you're absolutely right.
it's horrible. Like, why would you tell your kid to shut up after something traumatic happened to them? Like, and then they grow up and they have mental problems and just just all kind of stuff. Like, it's not good. It's not healthy.
Right. And you're absolutely right. A lot of times, even as adults, like that kid in you is afraid to say anything because,
Absolutely.
yeah, because you're afraid
Because
of embarrassing the family and what shame it could bring. But you're right. It's like I think nowadays our generation is like, I'm telling.
oh, and I respect it to the highest because I've met some people and they're like, well, they told me not to tell anybody, or oh, if you tell somebody, nobody's going to believe you. And that's what was told to me. That if I
Mhm.
told anybody at all, well, nobody going to believe me because this person was the system. So it started happening though. I was telling people and they were like, what? Or, and then it switched from that to like not telling people because of fear of what would happen to me or my kids. Because we suffered in silence. It was like the worst thing in the world. And like I've actually helped people that suffer silence. And it sucks. Like it sucks. Because it's like you're trapped. You can't tell anyone at all. And if you do tell, you have to think about the consequences you might face or if you're
Right.
willing to take them. So getting out of like traumatic situations like that, like no, I don't ever believe in putting anything under a rug. Because
Right.
I would be the one to come and be like,
Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
right there?
Right. Right. Was there ever a role that you went for that was like mirrored what you've gone through and you said, you know what, I can't do this? Because it kind of brought back maybe memories or things like that.
Oh yeah. Yes, there was a film. It didn't make it. I'm still praying it does one day. I played a abused wife.
Mhm.
Now this is where therapy comes in too, because you got to lock into that reality, again on film and get out of it. Because when you get on set, you have to be this character, and that's the only thing you're allowed to be the entire time. You can't get out. So it was like touching this thing that already happened to me and bringing it to reality and getting out of it. It was tough, and I had done this twice, and it was hard. And then I was like, okay, you know what? You're not here anymore. Stop. And then I still it takes a minute. I'm still not perfect at getting out of that quick. It's like because you're crying and you're in it, and then they're like cut, and you're like, and they're like, okay, we said cut. I know, just let me get it together. You know what I mean? It can be a struggle, but again, I suggest highly being a therapist. Even if you're not an actor, you need one because it's not bad. It doesn't mean like you're crazy, but like it helps a lot.
Yeah. So when you're on set, are you in character like the whole time you're on set?
When I walk in, I'm not Deidra Murphy anymore
Oh, okay. So do they call you by your character's name?
because you're not you. You're somebody else.
Wow. Okay, so that means when you walk through that door, you are the character. You're no longer Deirdre. You're that person. They're calling you, hey, Marcy, Michelle, whomever. That's it.
Absolutely. That's who you are.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah. It's,
Wow.
I mean, it's a learning. It's a lot to learn. And like I I learned that you have to keep. So my goal is to get my EGOT, my E Grammy Oscar Tony. If
Hmm.
I want to get that, I have to hang around people that are almost there or have gotten it. I cannot hang around people that do YouTube if I want to get my Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, because they don't know how to get it. So, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I have to be around people that will protect me and know the industry and also teach me. So I have an amazing support group. I have a, oh my gosh, like they're gonna start crying maybe, but probably not. But anyways, I have an amazing team. Like I could not have done any of this without them. Like none of it. Like and they don't let me just quit. Like I could tell one of my managers right now, like I'm done. And she'd be like, nope, no, you're not. Get your script done. Like
Yeah. Yeah. I think you need to whenever I hear someone getting that, like Jennifer Hudson, Viola Davis, when they get it, I am like, I am cheering for them on the sidelines because I'm sure it's not easy. I mean,
it's not. I think that there's so much that I have seen um, that I won't talk about, and it's just like wow. But I'll tell you, if you want to be an actor, you have to have like really thick skin. And I highly suggest to know the business first because there are so many just, hi, I'm a producer director, and they're not. They're not who they say they are. And I just, yeah, get you a team that will support you. Don't just throw yourself out there because it's not safe enough to just do that. Um, and research is huge. Like, yeah.
so what do you research? Do you research how to be an actor? How, do you need
Oh
a,
no, because I take classes. I have one, two, three coaches. I take classes, and um, yeah, and workshops and stuff like that are important. But when I look up like people in the industry that are like, "Hi, I'm this and I'm this person," I will Google you and look you up on IMDb. And if you're not there, we're not talking. That's where I'm at right now. I used to not be there because I was new and excited. I just wanted to do anything, and I ended up getting my feelings hurt. Like I got booked for all this stuff and none of it went anywhere. And I was like, what's going on? So then I had to look, I had to learn more about the business. Like there are some films and they can't even afford it. So they're not going to go anywhere. They need like big funding. They need, you know, things like that. It's a lot to the business. So, but if you don't know it, like don't do what I did and just start jumping into stuff and not doing your research because I did it and I did not do my research until like after. And I'm like, yo, really? And
so what's, yeah,
I will not do it again.
wow. So what's the difference of whomever may not know or thinking about getting into acting? What's the difference of a manager and an agent?
My agents book me work and my managers, they look out for me. And my managers wear many hats. So yeah, they
Okay.
look out for you and help you and put you out there in different places. And
So
they
like,
help
okay. So like your branding.
industry, anything industry is, yeah.
Okay. So do they call you and say, hey, Deidra, we have this great role for you. Would you like to participate or would you like to see what the script's about?
Agent, yes. Manager, no.
Okay. Okay. I mean, that I get, yeah. I'm looking like, wait a minute. So they'll call you and say, wait, this role is not good for you. It may not be good for your branding where you're trying to go.
They would they would do that, yes. If it was something that they were just like, no, then I wouldn't do it.
Oh, okay. So does it work like this also? Because I've seen actors and actors say, you know what, we stopped this movie because it wasn't good for, um, it wasn't good for me. So I decided to do like stage plays. I mean, I've heard of actors do that. So would that actually help you get the EGOT as well? or is it just movies? I don't know. The reason I'm asking because let's say, for instance, Felicia Rashad. She's done like, I mean, everything, but it seems her heart is on the stage. And I just think she, like someone like that, hasn't gotten the accolades they really need or deserve.
I feel like there's a lot that they don't get it, and I do. I feel like there are a lot of actors in the industry that deserve a lot more than they're receiving. But I admire the fact that they just keep going. They don't focus on what they don't have; they focus on what they do. And I try to live my life like that. I don't go, "Oh my God, I didn't get that part," or "I can't be in this movie anymore." I try not to do that because it puts you in a negative space. And like, who wants to be in a negative space?
Right.
You know, like
right. So would you say you should have like a diverse portfolio per se? You don't want to get like pigeonholed into a specific type of role?
Oh, typecasting?
Yes.
I don't. I had been at the beginning. I feel like kind of typecasted, but a lot of study has helped me be able to get into other characters. Like I have RBF. It's usually I don't smile a lot. This is what you're getting. I'm like super happy all the time, but I don't really smile a lot. So people get like the serious face and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" "Nothing." "What's wrong with you?" "Aren't you smiling?" "I don't want to. It's my face." Smiling causes wrinkles. I don't want those. So I got typecasted into stuff like what was that? What was it? Do your homework. Absolutely. About like people in the industry that say they are stuff and they're not. Your homework is like your number one thing you want to do, because I've gotten hurt many times. Yeah. And if I had only done my research at the beginning, I wouldn't have been hurt. But again, we talk about earlier, I was talking about like lessons. I literally went through lesson after lesson after lesson and kept beating myself in the face like, "Oh my God, you just literally went through this and you're doing it again." And now I'm just like, okay, you know what? That did it right there. You know what? Like my heart I had to sew it back together again. And I'm tired of sewing my heart together. So now it's just, I'm going to wait on them and trust in them to get me where I got to go instead of like trying to do it myself. Because no. But as far, what were we talking about? I'm sorry, I got lost.
That's okay. The typecast.
Yeah, it was like not Queen Sugar, something of the South. What is that? What was that movie? Queen of the South.
Yeah.
Or like a godmother, a drug lord, a cop, an attorney, by my look. But I'm learning how to be other things. Like I really kind of want to do Girl Next Door, but I kind of, I don't know. Yeah. I've been like talked to about it. Like you should do like Hallmark. I'm like, what? Yeah. Like you want me to do what? Oh yeah, Hallmark is okay, right. And
So
they're gonna be like, why isn't that lady?
Hallmark?
Huh?
No Hallmark?
I mean, of course, but like I would have to, work on a lot of things, but like I just don't see myself as in a Hallmark.
Yeah. When I think of Hallmark, I think of like Aunt Becky.
I think a Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, that too. I didn't want to say it, but like I think of that. Yeah. Like, the mom home, something happened with the kids. It's like always that same storyline.
Yeah, no. But I mean, listen, I'm not saying I won't. It's fine, great. I'm excited if I could do it. It's just no, I don't. I mean,
But I tell you, I could see you being a great detective, though. I love that. Like you would have gone to, do that. But I could see you being like one of those, no nonsense detectives. I could see you as that.
I'm typecast as a detective too.
Yeah,
an attorney.
yeah.
Even a mistress. I think a mistress. I don't think I've been typecast as a wife. It's always something like bad, like super bad, like sexy.
I can see you as all those things, but not Hallmark.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Again, I'll do it, but like Hallmark like cringes me. I just like I watch it and I'm like, people don't act like that in real life.
No, they don't. Yeah. I can't even see you like in one of those scary movies because everybody like runs and falls. I'm like, come on, get a new script. It's like, it's a horror movie. We're going to make them fall.
Who's going to fall now?
Yeah. And they're always the first one to die, or they're running and then they run into a tree. And I'm like, come on. How many times can you run into a tree? How many times can you run and fall? You know, like we're tired of seeing that.
Right. I also want to do like superhero stuff.
Yeah.
Like a villain.
I could see that too. Yeah.
I mean, I could be like a good superhero, I guess, but like I feel more villainy.
Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah. Yeah. No homework. I mean, she'll do it, but no. None of that.
I'm saying like, no, absolutely never. But I mean, I'll do it and I'll give you my best. But I, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She don't want to fall, hit the tree, sick of all of that, like done. How do you remember those lines though? Like, oh my gosh, it must be like, how do you remember that?
Okay, so I have my first coach. His name is Bassara. If you're here, I love you. If you're not, I still love you. But he taught me how to memorize, and it was like be Wonder Woman. Okay, but he taught me how to, because I have some memory issues. So I was like, yo, like there's no way I can do this. And he taught me like different ways to say your lines. Like even you can sing your lines. You can say them in different ways, repetitively. You can do it in sections. And I was like, wow, I literally memorized 3 pages. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. Like my short-term memory sucks. I can remember something that happened 20 years ago. And I'm like, it's almost like in my brain, it's like a camera. It like remembers things in like snapshot, like it's almost like an aha moment. Tomorrow I'll remember something. I'll be like, that happened 15 years ago, but I couldn't remember yesterday. So that's why I was always wondering, like, is it easier to remember lines in a movie versus like a sitcom? Because I'm like, you're doing this like every freaking day.
Repetitive reading is a must. And once I keep, how like you learn a lyrics to a song, you just say the song over and over and over again, and eventually it's in your head. It's the same thing with a script. You just say them over and over and over and over again, and then it's in your head. It's stuck. You can't go anywhere.
Wow. So let me ask you, did you have in your contract that you can keep the clothes? Like I've heard actors and actresses that have in their contract, like, I can keep all the clothes. Do you have that? Because you guys wear some cool clothes sometimes.
Okay. So sadly, I've had to, hi Kay, I've had to, because I've not been on set for a SAG film yet. So I've had to buy my own clothes and provide my own stuff.
Really? Give her some clothes.
Some people so for a low budget film, they can't afford to just buy you clothes. So you sometimes have to provide your own. Now, when you get up to the bigger ones, films, they have, even for extras, they have clothes for you. But low budgets, the ones I've been in, I've had to bring my own things. And when you bring them in, you unzip your little bag and they look and tell you what they want you to wear. And then you have to do your own hair and makeup. And
really? So they say before you come on, this is a list of things you need to bring.
Yeah, and you have to be makeup ready. And I will be so glad when I don't have to do that anymore. Because
wow, makeup ready means you need to put your makeup on before you get there.
Mm-hmm. And then you're there with your makeup on. You have to make sure it's great the whole time. Yeah. But when you do SAG movies, big ones, you have a makeup artist and you have everything you need in front of you.
Wow. So what's a SAG, for people who may not know, what's a SAG movie?
One SAG movie would be, I believe, Black Panther's SAG.
Yeah, I think it made $1 billion, right? Is that why?
I think it's SAG. Mm-hmm.
Wow. What defines a SAG movie? Is it budget?
That's a hard question.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. See,
I've learned about it, but I forgot.
that's okay. Because I always see, okay, this is a SAG actress movie and this, that, and I'm like, how do you define that? Is that like a union? Like
It is a union. SAG is a union, Screen Actors Guild. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm like, how do you define what that is? Wow. Okay, well, look, I think we kept you here long enough. And I really, really, again, thank you. Because as you see, there is so much more to you. I mean, you have people on here that is like speaking highly. And let me just say, people will speak negatively about you versus positive any day. But the fact that you have people on here that's like, no, like, she saved my life. She done this and that. That speaks volumes. It really does. So even like I said, the people that are watching, little girl, little boy out there, whomever, or the older person out there saying, I want to be an actor. Now you know what goes into it. So get your own makeup. You got your own clothes.
They may not have to. Like everyone doesn't have to. Like they might be that one lucky one that gets into like a big, huge project immediately, and they don't have to go and start there. Everyone doesn't start. Everyone's industry story is different.
Okay.
Like I forgot her name. There's an actress that was on what was that? Medea's Family Reunion. I forgot her name, but now she's like the most sexiest woman in the world. Anyway, she started off in that. She didn't do like little bitty things, little projects. She started off like that.
Wow.
But everyone's story is so different. And I may not get into anything big for 5 years. I may get in something tomorrow. Like you never know, but you just have to stay consistent and like stay in it. It's not like and then there aren't any little actors and big actors. We're all the same. We're all in this together. And I think that some people try to separate that. And that's another way how you know how because I've met some producers and directors. I've met some good ones and I met some absolutely horrible ones. The good ones actually treat everyone the same. They don't go, oh my God, you know what? You're the better one and you matter for my film and everybody else just do your best. Like they are committed to making every actor on that set feel welcomed and loved because it is hard. It's like a doggy dog world. Like it's hard. It's not easy. It's not like going to work and sitting at a desk and typing. It's not like that. You have to make connections, go to workshops, always go to acting classes. I know people that are like, oh no, I don't need that. I don't need an agent. I don't need a manager. And then they'll call you like a week later. How come I'm not getting any work? Because you don't have an agent. You ain't even going to acting classes. Like, what are you doing? You always have to stay in your craft or you'll lose yourself.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, and it's industry pay scale, like Sherry said.
Oh, all right. So I got to ask about that. So how do you determine who's going to make 20 million from the ones that's going to make a couple of $1,000s?
How do you do what?
How do you determine if you're going to make 20 million from one that's make 1,000? Is it based on your last movie or show or like how?
No, they tell you how much you're getting paid.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And they have it on the good ones have it on paper. The bad ones they tell you verbal.
Okay.
Paperwork and papers and contracts are key because it protects you and your cast.
Okay. So in your contract, is your manager and agent also included in your contract when it comes to negotiating the price, the money, or they just say, you know what, you're getting $1 million and it's up to you to pay them back.
So the contract does it would give you your pay rate and your role or, whatever. Your managers will have your back on it most of the time and read it if you don't understand it. Entertainment attorneys are great too, but like if there's something that you were given, you don't just sign it because sign that you're owned by a production company. Like, and it happens. There's actors that have actually been owned by the production company. And I don't want to be owned by anybody. And that pretty much looks like this. Like, it's like I sign you on And
Mhm.
there's wording in there that you don't understand, but it's actually in real life, meaning I own your face. I can take your face and put it in grease without your permission, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Wow.
Always
Wow.
read the whole thing. That's what I mean. Like, it's not, people in the world think that being in this industry is probably like really, really easy, and it's actually really, really hard. You have to be really strong and consistent, and you know, you
So
have
it's
to.
okay. Sorry. It seems you need a manager, agent, and an attorney and a therapist.
So an entertainment attorney, not like immediately, maybe. And if you have like, if you're social media famous, you should have like a branding team and a publicist to help you post. There's a lot of things that you start moving up that you're going to need.
Wow.
But at the beginning, you pretty much want to at least get an agent first.
Okay.
I just wanted all of them because I wanted to be ready, and I was just like, okay, come here, let's go. And yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I mean, I could definitely see that too. But okay, I'm not being funny or even asking the question, but like when you're just starting, how do you pay these people? Like you're like, look, I got like $500 in my account. I can't pay you all. Or do they make money when you make money? Because that's always my question. Like your manager, your agent.
They make money when you make money, the agent.
Okay. Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
like
okay.
if you don't make any, like if they don't give you work that you're not booked for, then yeah.
Wow.
They
Okay.
don't.
Because I'm like, well, what about when you're like broke? You're not broke. When you got like $500, you're like, look, I can't pay you, but this is how you want to make the money. Okay.
And
Wow.
then like the higher up you are in the industry, like they negotiate. But I don't. So the thing that I appreciate about having managers and agents is that I don't have to speak with the producer or anything. If a good one would talk to your manager and your agent and not you, because we're only the actors. That's it. We're not supposed to get into your director, drama, none of that. We're only the actors. And that's what I appreciate about mine. So I know that when I tell people, like, could you just call my manager or my agent? And they're like, oh, I don't mess with people like that. Then that means you don't need to be around me at this point. Because no. Like, if you can't talk and deal with my managers, then I won't be working for you. Because they're there to have my back. And when I'm telling you they have, and I just, whew, yeah. I couldn't have done it without them at all. I would have
Wow.
probably been like
Oh, yeah.
in a nut house.
Wow.
But yeah. And it's definitely about who you know. And I'm just grateful for the ones I know and that support me. I've met a lot of other actors in the industry that are amazing and they support me. And if they see me doing something dumb, they'll be like, hey, don't, no. And I'll do it. If they see me looking like I'm about to just quit, they won't let me.
I think that's good to have because they're like your support system as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm
Wow.
allowed to have like moments where I'm just like, yo, like I'm still trying to get out of a little shakeup, but you don't know it because I just told you that's the only way you know it. But and I'm gonna be good. Yeah.
Mhm.
But thankfully when you have people that have your back, like it doesn't hurt as bad because they're going through it with you. They're not letting you go through this alone.
Wow, that's a good thing though. And then do you find like, okay, you may have a close knit circle of friends, but you have thousands because you have people on the social media. Like I have people on social media I've never met, and they're like so darn supportive, but we never met in
Oh
person.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. So on my Instagram and my Facebook, I use those platforms to put out positivity into the world because I'm not going to make a TikTok video on Instagram, but I want to help people. So I use both of those platforms to help people in some sort of way, and it makes me happy because it actually helps. Even like I talked to my photographer and I found out that she even gets stuff out of my post, and I was like, really? And
Yeah,
she's like,
we
oh my
do.
god, she really looks forward to it, and that makes me so happy. Just knowing that I'm reaching out to somebody in some way. Like I don't, instead of having to like call you every day, I'll be like, here. And then like I've met a couple people and they're like, dang, like really? Like you really telling my business. Like this is really what's going on with me. You literally just helped me get out of it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Like I said, when I said, you inspire people, it's the truth. Because if you're having a bad day, you may not always want to tell people that know you. You may not understand that it's somebody going through the same thing, but sometimes just that little passage that you read can help you get out of bed, because people are going through things, especially now. I mean, there's a lot of people out there struggling. So even just to hear positivity is like phenomenal. And I tell you, I'm the first one. I could help someone else, no problem. But when it comes to me, I'm like, sometimes I struggle. So even just to see like a video of yours or something, trust me, it helps you. And I'm not just saying it, it really, really does. And you could be going through too. But for that moment, I'm like, no, it helped me. I'm telling you, it changes the dynamic of your day. For me, it does.
Well, I appreciate you. Yeah.
It really does. And it's like, wow, she's going through things too. And it could be something small. Like I was like earlier, I'm like, I got to get it together. Because, you use other people as your benchmark. You really do. Although we don't think about it, but you do. And it could be something silly, like you say, oh, well, you're talking about your earlier videos. I'm like, no, but actually they weren't so bad. Like, no, because you need that. Because sometimes when you come, no, seriously, no. You know why? Because people see growth. They do.
Yeah.
They can see you. Because when you coming on, like, and I know you see this and you know it, but there's people out there who may not. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we don't even know. We don't think. And when you're contractually obligated, you may not want to get out of bed. You don't have to always be an actor. You could just be a regular working person, but you're contractually obligated. And sometimes you don't even want to brush your teeth. But when someone sees you on like social media and you're doing something silly, you're talking to your kids or whatever, that inspires other people. Because seriously, because it's being relatable.
Right.
I've seen like people come on there like, oh man, I gotta go to the doctor. I got a pimple on my face. You're like, pimple? Like, I need a whole, I have issues. You know what I mean? You're worried about that. Well, what about mine? So seriously, you may think that they're horrible. Believe me, they're not. Because again, people can relate to it. They can. So leave them. Seriously, I guarantee you. The next time you look at them, I bet you someone else has viewed it. I bet the number is going to change because you're like, wait a minute, people do, like you don't like you come on sometimes. Not you. You can come on these screens. Sometimes your computer's not working. You're muted. Like the whole thing happens. Like Murphy's Law is real. No pun intended, because your last name is Murphy, right? But it's true. It's the truth. I've come on and I was with another guy. He does like sitcoms, and I'm like, oh my God. I came on and the crown fell off of my tooth. Not that anybody cared about me, but I'm like, did my crown just fall off? Like, really? Like, really?
You just keep moving. It could be worse. Yeah. Like all your teeth could fall out. You still got your teeth. So that's what matters.
I know. But it's gonna be somebody like, you don't have no teeth for real.
Or somebody. So with me, my big thing is like I did this meet and greet last year, I think. Last year. Or year before. Anyways, and I didn't know that like people was going like, I didn't think that people was gonna like take screenshots of me and pictures, and I mean it's fine, I don't care. But I just didn't know, And like there's some pictures of me that I've seen and I'm like, get rid of me now. Like, what happened? Like, did you catch me in mid talk or something? Like, my eyes was crossed. Like, what is this? But I appreciate like the support. So I've gotten to a point now. I don't care.
I know, Deidra, but think
I
about
be like really funny about that. Like, did you just catch my bad side and post it? Like,
I know, but you know what? Like for you, it must be. It's like I hear what you're saying, but isn't it like a pressure? Like if I go out with my shirt on backwards, nobody cares. If you go out looking like a little off, you're all over everywhere.
Yeah. So my manager here has trained me to always go out on my best because I've actually met fans in real life, a lot of them, and yeah, always important. Like example, as I was at the Dollar, I think it was Dollar Tree, and my card wasn't working, and it really fixed the way I approach everything now. And I was like, it was acting stupid, and I cussed. And they were like, "It was a kid," and they were like, "Oh my God, it's the godmother," and I was like. Oh my God. They were like, "Oh, we love you so much." And I'm like, "I'm so sorry." And they were with their mom. And I'm like, "I am so sorry." And the kids are like, "It's fine. My mom cusses too." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, I had no makeup on. I didn't even know anybody would be able to recognize me. I didn't look like this. I looked like I just woke up.
But isn't that
And
cool though? I
left.
mean, for you, maybe not. I mean, I've seen Keanu Reeves on the subway and I thought he was homeless.
Well, she has trained me well to try my best to look appropriate every time I go out. I should look like this or the godmother or both.
Yeah, I understand that. I mean, that is just like pressure.
You know what? Once you keep doing it, it's not that bad. Like I'm used
Really?
to it now. At the beginning, it was like, wait, I didn't put my blue contacts in, and now it's just like, you know what? They're getting Deidra Murphy today. You did Deidra Murphy or the godmother? Pick one. So,
Yeah, and I feel bad for like actors because if you gain 10 pounds, people, I mean,
oh
you're
yeah,
bastard.
I have a video up where I did gain some weight, and I've lost it though. But I gained some weight, and somebody was like, "Oh, you look a little bit heavier." I'm like, you know what? Thanks.
God.
Like I did gain a few pounds. I'm trying to lose it, but thanks for your support. Like, yeah. And then they'll say stuff like, "Your body looks skinny," and I'm like, "Thank you." Like, why are you looking at my body? I was trying to tell you a story, but I don't really care about critiques and stuff like that anymore. Like that, like I used to. Like I used to freak out. Like, oh my gosh. Like I even had a video where my nail was broken. Um, it was a slow walk to the Harriet Tubman song. And when I went like this, like literally this nail was missing. I was like, yo, I'm missing a nail.
Wow, people are so cruel. It's crazy.
Oh, I've had a video where my eyelash was coming off. I don't really wear them anymore. But the big eyelash, like in the corner, was like lifted. And I think it was like a sideways walk video or something. They're like, "Hey, your eyelash." It's like, fix that. And I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah. I don't
Yes.
I don't care. Because the society expects you to be a certain way at all times. So I have to, even on like a weird moment day, because I don't call them bad days, I put a mask on because you have to see me, not my insides. But like the people that are like super close to me, it didn't work for them. They'll be like, "How are you?" I'm like, "I'm fine." "No, you're not. Let's talk." And I'm like,
But
yeah.
gosh, like, I always feel sorry for you guys. I really do because it's like you always have to look perfect. Like, what if you want to go somewhere and eat a cheeseburger, like the mayonnaise is falling down your mouth? Then, like, the camera's always catching you. It's like there.
Well, I literally, so story time. I went to Planet
Oh,
Fitness because I was exercising, and
mhm.
somebody freaked out and was like, "Oh my God, it's the godmother." I gave her a hug, and she videoed me and was staring at me the whole time while I was working on my gluteus maximus. Yeah.
See, that's horrible. Like if I
I
see some,
mean,
I
but
try not
people
to.
are like that. People are just like that. I unsubscribed from Planet Fitness. I'm not going back there. I will find another gym, but that will not be one because yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like like even if I saw someone, I may wave or not and just keep going. Not that I don't care, but when you're with your family, you have your me time. You don't want cameras and things all in your face. And plus, I just feel like when you're with your family, they are not maybe not in the industry. So Now social media is very dangerous. They could be walking down the street and they don't have bodyguards and things like that. So I try to just be mindful. Now,
Well, society loves actors and they love famous social media content creators. Um, so I've gotten to a level of understanding, like they love us and
very
we have to love them back. Like, even if
well,
we just don't, like, I've actually had days where I'm just like, I can't do this today. And I have to force it. And so when they do see me, they see like, she's so pretty and I love you and let's take a picture. I've actually went and met fans. I like literally have gone and met them. Like, surprise, hi. It's fun.
really? See, I thought you guys don't like all of that. So I try to be mindful of it.
Oh no, I personally love all of my fans. Every single
Okay.
one. And like, so some people that are TikTok famous or whatever famous, they see these people as numbers. I see them as family.
Yeah.
There's a difference. And once you start treating them like family, they stick around.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You know what? Thank you so much for clarifying that because I'm always thinking like they don't want to be bothered now. They're
Oh
eating.
no, no. I love them to death. I couldn't have done any of what I've done, or like my fans are the reason why I kind of started too. They were like, "You should be an actress," and I'm like, "Dang, you know what? You're right." And then everyone kept saying it, and I'm like, "Okay, the time has come because they're right." And these are people that don't know me. And there was something about them where they were like, "You should be an actress," and I'm like, "Really? Yeah, absolutely." Oh, you're right, and I'm gonna be, and yeah,
Wow, I can see that because like I said, for me, if I support you, I feel like a groupie. If I support you, everything you do, I'm like right there in the back. I'm looking and I'm checking you out. You know what I mean? Because again, you're right. I like to see people who are actors. I like to see them at their good moments. I'm celebrating you, but I like to see you at your bad moment because I'm like, you know what, girl, it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. It's all right.
yeah, and I respect that because society always wants us to be like super perfect all the time, and there might be days where we are capable of that, and like even and then when you're an actor and a social media creator, you have to be used to that. Like that's what's expected. You know what I mean? Like expect people to take pictures of you crossing the street and cameras all in your face. That's just how it is. I mean, I might not like it all the time, but it's just how it is. And I know that I can keep a low profile. Like there's actually actors that you'll never hear their life
That's
at
true.
all. Never. And that is how I am. You'll never hear about me having just a crappy day or being in some weird situation. You won't hear it because I won't let you expose it and it. So it's yeah. Some actors like that. Some people in the industry they love that. They like soak off of it. I don't. If I get the attention, I get it. I love it. I'm thankful. But if I don't, I'm not gonna throw like some big tantrum. I'm actually gonna be pretty happy about the piece. But either way, like I'm okay with it. I love everyone. Like, and I don't like just use that word like that because I've dealt with a lot of people that have used the word and they hurt me. So
Right.
I'm using it. I mean it, and I'm gonna show you.
Right. And you're absolutely right because again, now you changed my mind because I'm always thinking like, like I said, they're with their family, they don't want to be bothered. And I'm not one for like a whole, taking pictures and stuff because you may not want to take pictures that day, right? Maybe you just like want to say, hey,
You
how you
have
doing?
to.
Really?
Pretty much. I mean, I got tested. Somebody, I don't remember who it was. Somebody was like, okay, Deidra, let's see how you would be at 3 a.m. You're at the airport. You just got off set for 18 hours. And somebody wakes you up and they're like, oh my God, I love you, actress Deidra Murphy. What do you do? You want to yell at them? Or are you going to take a picture? I was like, I'll wake up and rub my face and put on my lotion, whatever I need to do really quickly. And let's take a picture. And then I'm going back to sleep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Because
think so.
I've met some people that are super ego-y. They treat people like absolute crap. I'm not one of those people. I want you to treat me good, and I'm going to treat you good too. Even
I
if
can tell.
because I've had some clingy fans. And I love them still. Sometimes it gets a little creepy, but I still love them.
Right. Well, you know, could it be that they're creepy because they just see that you're just a regular person? They have something that they could connect with, or they're like
I
standing outside your window crazy.
both.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
See,
It's okay.
like,
Yeah. It there's some weird moments, but I mean, it's part of the life, so it is what it is.
because I
It's not
see,
gonna be my weird moments.
yeah, I see fans that really like you can go like concerts. Let's just say every time you go to a concert, they're right there in front of the line, and they're presidents of your fan club, and they're always there. And to me, that is creepy. Like they're all they're like stalkish, kind of.
Oh, stalkers, I've had those.
Yeah. Really?
Now, uh-huh. They email me and they email whoever they can find and call whoever they can find. I had a little girl. I have no idea how she got my number. It was so cringy, but she like called me on was it Google Duo or something weird? And I'm like, whose number is this? And the little girl, she had her little like a I don't know what she had. Looked like she put it next to her, and then she had a tablet in her hand, and I'm just sitting her on her phone like, hello, who are you? And she's like playing her little game. And I was like, okay. And I hung up. She called right back. And I was like, do you want me to just sit here? And she was like, you spoke. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go. This is weird. Yeah, there's been some, but I mean, it's a part of it. Like I understand. Like, and I've never been the type to like freak out if I see somebody that's in the industry. I don't do that. I don't. No.
So
There's
does that
just
mean you need to get security too?
eventually, but right, I can handle my own. I'm strong, and plus, I have, you know, people.
Yeah. No, I understand. I mean, because like certain areas that people may live in, you don't even know who they are. Like they don't have fans. Like they have fans, but no one may know who they are really. You know, so I guess it's better there. But you get those crazies, and it's like, oh my gosh, really?
Oh, I've had some with TikTok that made me want to quit. I was like, you know what? I can't do it anymore. Yeah, I was scared to go live for a minute. It was weird. Like, yeah. But
Wow. But on TikTok and your socials, you could probably get people from all over the world, and you don't even know who they are.
nope. But I love them. Yeah, and that's
Wow.
the whole point. That's the beauty of it. Like, I don't. I'm not like I'm not racist. I don't care what your pronouns are. I just do not care what the color of your skin is. If you're going through it, like you deserve to get help. You deserve to be loved. I'm just gonna love you no matter what.
Wow. Wow. You know, that's phenomenal. You know, because again, you don't see too many, people like that. And it doesn't matter if you're in the industry or not. It's just you don't see that those genuine people like it used to be. So I really
I
appreciate it.
think that comes from people forgetting where they came from.
Yeah,
Like that
that
is a big thing. Like I've been homeless, I've been in abusive relationships, I've had bad things happen in my life, but like I'm super careful with how I like treat people, and I always have to remember where I came from. This just didn't happen like overnight. What actually kind of did. Then I mean, it was kind of like sudden, but but still, like I'll never forget the beginnings, like ever. And it's so important because if you forget where you came from, you're gonna lose you, and you're no longer yourself. You're somebody else.
right, right. So like humble beginnings. Wow.
Yeah, like humility is big. Like I've met some cocky actors, and it's just like, "Uh, go sit down, please, because you're doing too much. It's too much. But I also use them as like a lesson of what not to do. Like
Yeah.
don't do what he just did or she just did because like
Mhm.
obviously you know.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. There's some out there that you're just like, oh no. Like they must have not been raised right, or just because they, are like celebrity status. Forget it.
Some of them are mean. they don't want to talk to you. But I think that from a few that I've talked to, they're like that because of how society has treated them. And it's hard. You know what I mean? Like if you're always getting critiqued about everything and then you're supposed to like fake the funk all the time, or an actor's supposed to have a good day every day, like absolutely not. It's just me. I've learned how to get out of me for other people. Like I will put my problems and my feelings aside for you. And then I'll deal with my stuff later. But right now my stuff's not that important, but yours is. And I've learned how to do that. And that it helps people. Like I've gone through a whirlwind of stuff and I put my things aside for people. But humility is like it's big. Like once you forget where you come from, like I don't ever want to lose me. I'm always going to be Deidra Murphy. Always.
But I can definitely say that, I mean, I even told my daughter this earlier. I'm like, oh my gosh, like she is so humble. Those are the words I said. She's so humble. And she like gets right back to you. She's very responsive. And I was like, oh, a little old me. I mean, just when I say a genuine person, like very apologetic. And I'm like, oh, a little old me. I mean, really, you are just a genuine person. And I'm just not saying that lightly. Really genuine person, like the girl next door type, again, I'm so serious. Like, really, you some of these people, they have no, like, they don't even respect people. They no respect, no humility. They're just bad people. And you're right. Sometimes it could be something that has happened with them because they may not really be like that, but just genuine. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? Like, yeah, you really, really are. I'm telling you, I had to tell a
Yeah.
few people that I'm like, she is like so freaking nice. Like really, really nice.
Thank you.
So seriously, like really. I was like, just I can't even say it enough. I can't even keep saying it, but seriously. And again, you could tell by the people who are saying it. I'm like, really? So that don't mean she's nice, but she ain't no pushover. Don't try to stalk and get crazy.
Yeah, no.
She ain't no fool.
Not
so,
like the time you can take advantage of. Like
yeah. Yeah. No, I was just kind of joking. Well, I was joking, but I wasn't joking. Like, no, just really a nice person.
Because there are people out there that like try to take your kindness for weakness.
Yeah.
And that sucks. But
yeah. No, she don't play the game. She from Ohio. She don't play. She don't play. She has siblings, so she don't play the games. Okay, I'm sure she growing up. You had to fight your siblings or something. You had to argue, and so she didn't play no games. Don't let her small statue fool you, because she will fight you. I said it. She ain't say it, so I'm putting a disclaimer out there. You sue me, you're gonna be practicing.
Well, I don't really fight. I've learned to let people go. I don't fight people. It's not worth the energy. Could you imagine like getting mad at somebody and hitting them, your hand like breaks and you're like, dang, my hand hurts, and you don't feel any better. You're still mad at this person. It just doesn't take the anger away. So
right. And for you, like, you're probably like insured and all that. So that's your job. I walk around with a broken wrist. Nobody ain't gonna care.
Like, oh well. Yeah, no, I don't fight. I don't believe in like violence. I just let people go. Because like if your energy sucks, I gotta let you go. Because I have to look out for my energy too. You know, so like I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just gonna hang the phone up. I'm gonna let you go. Because eventually like you're gonna get yours. And it might not be for me, but it'll be somewhere. And I'm really careful with how I treat people because like it comes back at you. Right back. And it may not come back at you. It may come back to somebody close, like your family.
Yep. Like your kid.
Is this my karma? Yeah, that's your karma.
Yeah. And it comes back hard.
Oh yeah. I am so funny about how I treat people. Like
me too.
Yeah. Because how you treat people tells you about like the type of person you are.
You're right. And you never know when you're going to need help. Like, I mean, I've been somewhere my car is broken down in the most unusual places. It could be like a highway and someone will stop, and it's like, things like that you never forget. And it takes more energy to be upset than it is just to smile. I'm the same way. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to let that bother me because I don't want it to ruin my whole day.
Yeah. And you also have to be careful with people like that have helped you. Like some people that I've helped, they got a little too happy and kind of turned on me. And it's fine. I understand in a better face, but you never know when you need that person again.
Right.
And I have run into that a few times, but still I have to watch my energy. Like I don't let everyone around me or in my circle, because they may look like the best person in the world, but they're just criminal inside. And I don't like people like that around me.
No, you're absolutely right. It's like one thing can like ruin your life. I completely understand. I do. Oh my gosh. Like this has been like phenomenal. Thank you so very much again. Just a good, genuine person again. So any project she has, please go and support her. Her TikToks and everything. I promise you're going to be feeling like she's like your friend. I promise. You may not have on the lipstick and all that stuff like she has on looking all great, but I'm telling you, just stick it down a little bit and keep it moving. I'm joking, but yeah. But thank you so much again. Again, this has been a pleasure and I really appreciate it. So
thank you for having me.
No, thank you. Thank you. And thank you for everyone who joined. Like we know now she's like the godmother. I love it. I do. I think that's so cool. I do. Because you can tell they're genuinely like feeling like that. But without further ado, now let me ask you, because I always ask everyone this, but you're out there, like you're all over the socials. So I don't have to ask you, like, can anybody reach out to you? I don't even know. So I don't even want to ask that. Look at her videos on TikTok and book her for me.
And then I have Instagram too and Facebook. They're both actress Deidra Murphy. Try to keep it simple and not switch it up.
It is simple. But you know what? I tell you, for whatever reason, I wanted to say, I spelled it D-I-E, and I was like, that is not the way she spelled her name, because I'm very conscientious of that. I was like, that is not how you spell her name. But she is under actress Deidra Murphy. So, leave her a kind word. So everybody needs it.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much. And we are out of here.
All right. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.
You've been listening to The Truth of the Matter with Dr. Spencer. Yes, we talk about taboo topics, but that's life, and we keep it real and raw. Our passion is to educate and enlighten. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review the show, and we'll be back soon. But if you have a unique relationship situation and you'd like help, or you're tired of having to choose between your career and personal life, Dr. Lamar Renee Spencer is a life alignment strategist and a certified life, relationship, and business coach. So make sure to reach out on Instagram and TikTok at Dr. Lamar Spencer, on Twitter at Dr. Spencer 15, on Facebook at Dr. Lamar Renee Spencer, and the website drlamarspencer.com. Or go old school and call 973-214-6464.
Don't forget to purchase the book, The Depth and Diversity with Relationships. Find it on Amazon and the website.
See you next time on The Truth of the Matter.